Everyone, welcome to NCG's first podcast. We're here live with the team. We're going to go over some questions, find out what they are about, what they have to offer you, and we'll go into some other details about what Bitcoin is. What are we here today for? Let's get a little more detail into that. So, I myself, my name is Matthew Sen. I am a research analyst, content creator, and an executive sales for NCG. NCG, otherwise known as New Century Gold. As I stated before, the whole team is here with us, and we're going to go through each person and find out what they are and who they are. So let's start with Waqar. Waqar, tell me your position here with NCG and kind of what you do to help the team.
Yeah, man. Great intro, Matt. Nice to meet you all. So I'm the CEO of the company. Pretty much just overseeing the day-to-day operations. Making sure everything that's customer facing, client facing is intact, secure, working, making sure to prioritize planning, making sustainable plans for the future. And we're just tapping into this crypto world, making sure that everything mining related is all insecure. And then we have a lot of projects lined up for NFTs and Metaverse that we're going to tap into. So just planning and just putting customers and clients first and making sure we get this done the right way.
Okay. Hey, perfect answer. I feel people will have a good understanding of what we're doing. At some point, we'll maybe have to break down, some of the more complex terms for maybe some of the beginner crypto people, so we can kind of, have a better understanding. But we can do that with different podcasts as well as we go. So, all right, Ali, let me know what you do, what you want to do to benefit the company. Where are we at? Where are we going?
So, I'm the CTO at the moment, a self-titled CTO. So me and Sal hooked up at some point, which is the CEO, and he found out what I was doing, and he's like, "Hey, let's all do this together." I'm like, "Sure." So I started off in my basement, started mining 2016-ish, right before the crash kind of thing. So I made a good amount over there, and I was like, "Oh wow, Bitcoin mining." Then it crashed, and I was like, "Let's just keep going." So we kept on going, and then met Sal and all these other fellows, and they're like, "Oh, let's upgrade you from your basement to a warehouse." I'm like, "Oh, sure, nice. Okay, let's go." So we've been upgraded to a warehouse, still mining within the house, just small little 1,000 square, 2,000 square foot. Upgraded to 3, we went really slowly, just to keep on going. It was hard to find like transformers and power and all that. So it'd be these places, wherever micro little places that we would find, we'd be like, okay, we can establish 100 miners here. So we'd go put the miners over there and stuff like that. So my whole thing started off with mining, but I've been in technology all my life. Since I was like 13, I was A+ certified. Worked at all the Best Buys, the Circuit Cities, all those things when I was a little kid. And then I got into Microsoft and administrator, engineer, you name it, So I just been in that technology space for a while. And this was always continuing on in the background, like, as a hobby. And it's like, oh, very great. No, bag money, So I was like, okay. And then, but when I first heard of Bitcoin, I was astonished. I was sitting in a car, and we're kids, we're in college or whatever. And then someone sits there and explains to me what Bitcoin was. And I was like, that is going to save the world. I went home. They're all just laughed. And they're like, nice. Shut up. You don't know anything. I'm like, all right, fine. So I quietly mined. And then I finally found, like-minded individuals. And I was like, oh, great. And then our CEO wanted to take it to the next level. And so did I. We got bigger. And then the story about going into the public eye and actually going out to the public was because, one of my sister, I call her my saint, so she's an older sister, and she's like, you shouldn't keep this locked away. I'm like, people think we're crazy. She's like, it's okay when they see your lifestyle and everything like that, they gotta ask. You're gonna have to tell them. It's great for the community. Don't you want more people on Bitcoin? I'm like, yeah, I believe in it. So she's like, the only way that's going to happen is you start telling people about it. So, and then fast forward years, and we're here today with Matt and leading this podcast.
Exactly. Here we are. And just what you're referring to is, but if you start telling everyone about it, then it's going to make the price up, and then you got to buy in at a higher price.
The market went up, down. Yeah. It's okay. Everyone ate. Everyone had fun.
Yeah. Hey, great answer, Ali. And based upon that, a little background on me too. I did my first purchase was Bitcoin in 2014. I was in my college finance class, and I think he was about 75, 80-year-old professor. One of our textbooks had, crypto Bitcoin topic as one of the, just a single page, within the whole entire textbook. Basically, after we kind of read through it, he was basically, dogging on it. He was saying, how bad this was. It's not a good idea. Don't go to. But I saw, the decentralized act of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, which is why I made the jump at that time. And I, once you go in, I'll never go back. I'm here for life. So I'm definitely a Bitcoin and cryptocurrency lifer. I myself am invested in shit coins.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you, Ali, and thank you, Akar. Let's get on to Rob. So Rob, let me know kind of what you're doing for NCG, what your goals are, where you want to take the lead, take the process. Where are you going with this?
Absolutely. So I manage the Northwest region for NCG in sales, and was lucky enough to stumble upon these guys through work that I was doing and portfolio management with crypto. And I kind of got interested in Bitcoin kind of through the back door of these. I've read 250 books. And when I say read, I mean Audible.
Nice.
I was never a great student in school, but I have a voracious appetite to learn things. And Audible, literally, a podcast on YouTube. What Malcolm Gladwell says that what he logged is at 5,000 hours to become an expert in a single field. And I think I've easily logged that many plus some in politics, history, and currency / Bitcoin.
Awesome.
And so everything that I've learned up to date has led me, like, I'm here because of passion, heart, and truth, and everything that I know and have learned is why I'm right here.
Okay. Hey, perfect.
Yep.
All right. Do you want to explain? Maybe go into detail a little bit more about kind of what you think of NCG so far since you started working for them. What your thoughts?
Is I think we've all heard the crypto world is kind of like where the internet stocks were in the late 90s. Some are going to be the next Amazons, the next Facebooks, the next Googles, and a lot of them, the shit coins are going to just go by the wayside, right? That's kind of my view of it. I know Bitcoin's not going anywhere. We know the trends of the Metaverse. We joked about it in a meeting yesterday where, these guys that, these nerdy accountants sitting in a cubicle, literally nobody knows their first name, but online, they're like a mega superstar. Right?
100%.
And that's
100%.
Living in an alternative universe. And so our world is changing really fast, and look forward to diving into some more theories of what I've learned from, the What is Money podcast, and Michael Saylor, the CEO for MicroStrategies, rocket scientist, engineer, a guy that breaks down Bitcoin and world currencies and history better than any human I've ever listened to. And so, it's a lot of fun.
Hey, awesome. Got a great answer. I'm glad to hear that. So basically, discussing them, like as you brought up the Metaverse, how about we have Wakar or Ali here? Let's bring up a quick picture with.
Check it out. Right on the Amazon store. You go there.
Hey. Yeah.
You can find our Metaverse premium t-shirt. This has a little bit of New Century Gold branding. You can rep us.
Or if you don't, there's another.
Bring one up. Bring one up.
Go ahead, click one.
So this,
Bam.
Yes.
So they took the original design was from the apes, and the apes were really boring apes, So our designer went out and he's like, Metaverse. Oh, I got you. And then that's what he came up with. And I was like, yeah. I was like, this is awesome. I want to be the guy with the red hat.
Hey, show me the front of that. Show me the front of that shirt again, real quick, if you don't. Okay, if you could explain to the audience, what is that QR code going to take them to if they scan it with their phone, kind of in the corner, if you could, please.
The QR code should be going to our website. Is that right?
Yes, go straight to our website.
Perfect. And then can you explain, what you guys have to offer all within your website, your website, other than just, strictly mining? Do you guys have other services you guys offer as well?
Yeah. Let's pull the website up.
Perfect. Yes. I would love to see the website, up in person. Let's check it out. Okay,
So you
so
got
website.
like miners and go ahead.
Yeah, so this is our website. The homepage
Perfect.
right away takes you into kind of what we do. Our slogan is, mine with confidence. And we really sell on mining in the USA. So a lot of people won't prefer to mine on USA, so we make sure that's right up there. You can schedule a free 15-minute consultation with any of our team members. You'll get we've done a really good job of condensing everything down to 15 minutes where get on a call, just understand, listen to us, it's free. Not much of your time, and we really do a good breakdown about what we have to offer in a high level perspective. We offer 0% financing. A lot of minor companies, I haven't come across one with that does 0% financing. That's something that we feel like we hold an advantage on. Zero down. You can also purchase miners on monthly payments. And obviously, we do our best to make sure our clients get the highest returns. You can see some of our popular miners. What we do at NCG, which a lot of companies don't offer, is we really break it down. So we give customers the option. So we know how pricey these miners are. It's really difficult for a lot of people to just go ahead and purchase a $7,000 to $8,000 machine right off the get-go. So we offer, we're partnered with a firm where we can really break down those payments into monthly payments. But we also have people who just want to get into this mining world. We offer a 1/10 of a miner. So obviously your returns won't be that good, but you really get to see our process from start to finish. And if you like it, we have a really easy upgrade process where you can just upgrade. You can even get a 1/2 of a miner, and your results will be, your returns will be 1/2 of what you would get from a full miner. And then obviously we have a full miner as well. Our flagship product is the S19 Pro, but we do have all other miner options available, including helium mining, Ethereum miners, miners, gold shells, Doge, anything and everything that we can get on here, we get on here.
I'm calling my brother tonight about Doge.
Doge so based upon that concept that you're talking there, so other than just Bitcoin, are you guys, offering any other, basically you're talking Dogecoin?
The Ethereum miners are there. I mean, the Dogecoin miners there, the helium miners there. So you got helium, Doge, basically any script
miners.
Yeah.
Okay. And are you guys think you're at some point, as your new business now, do you guys feel you guys will potentially expand into other cryptocurrencies as time goes on?
Yeah, we already started, and the plan is to go ahead and do that. But at this point, we want to have our backing, and our backing is going to be Bitcoin. Yeah.
Of course. I was just, future reference, potentially.
Yeah, definitely.
Open the door to other cryptocurrencies. Yes.
Yeah.
Some people
we love Bitcoin, but there's still these other people love other coins too. So we always want to cater to.
I would hope people love Bitcoin if they're getting involved in cryptocurrency. It's kind of the mother that holds everything up. No Bitcoin, no crypto. Trust me.
100%. Yep. So
I just got triggered. I thought Bitcoin was the only one.
Yeah.
No.
We got a Maxim listening here today.
Man, no limits.
You are right, brother. That's all it is.
Dude, if you guys ever get a chance, go on Bitcoin Twitter, man. Those maxis are the toxic maximalism is strong.
They are. Yeah, be careful online. Some social media maximalists, they'll tear you apart. They'll try to tear you apart. Believe in what you want to believe and go with it. Stick with it and try to make it happen. That's
all we tell you is, dude, diversify your portfolio, right? We see these guys that are just in stocks, just in ETFs, just in real estate. Okay, fine, you have all of that. What is the little 1/10 of your, diversification going to do for you? Just get out there, because if you miss the train and if you're just done with it, you're going to cry later. You always want to be. Even your stock portfolio guys are the ones sitting there telling you, "Hey, diversify your portfolio."
Correct. If you bring that discussion up, let's take a 10-year time frame. If you'd invested in Bitcoin 10 years ago, say you stuck 10 grand into Bitcoin 10 years ago, your 10 grand is going to turn into, roughly 20 to 50 million right now is what you'd be sitting on. You'd invested $10,000 into gold. Guess what you'd be sitting on? You'd be sitting on 10 grand. If you put it into, a different smaller, US stock, let's even just say Amazon, maybe, you'd maybe be at $1 million bucks. So, would you rather have $40 million, $1 million, or $10,000. Well, I think I'm gonna take the 40 million. So I know kind of where the 10-year mark is going, and now that's where I'm putting my money at.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
Okay, perfect that you're bringing that up, for mining, with these miners that you're selling, are there bundle deals if they buy in larger quantities? Let's go into that discussion if one of you could, please.
Yeah, so we're always setting out promotions. We have weekly newsletters for our clients, our subscribers, and there's always going to be a promotion on there, whether it's for bundle packages or just the price just going down because of the market currently. So keep an eye out for those newsletters. There's always going to be promotions. We're always open to promotions, and obviously both prices do differ than just 1 and 2 minor purchases. So there's always that price over there, but that all depends on the volume of the purchase. But we're open to getting flexible with that and getting people to really benefit the most if they are purchasing more from us.
Okay, perfect. Hey, thank you for the answer. Then based, past that, other than miners, you could take us through it, just kind of click on some different links that you have through your site and just kind of show everything you like.
Yeah. So one more thing I want to touch on the miners part is, so you can buy from us as well. And if you ever decide in your time with us that you want to go ahead and sell these miners, you're not interested in mining anymore, we have a marketplace as well where we go ahead and we can add your miner for you. We can put it on for a specific price and see, and whoever is interested, they can go ahead into our marketplace and buy used miners as well. So
that's perfect. So you're letting your audience know here that if they buy a miner, they're able to obviously sell it at whatever, if someone's asking for, and they can, decide to sell it for that. So they're not just stuck with the miner, and in essence is what you're stating, correct?
And how that really works is that miner is your asset, right? You're not just buying you just bought something and it went to value to zero. It's just like having a house or a car. The car's value goes down really just because you bought it. But Bitcoin miners don't do that. Especially the ant miners, I mean, they retain value as Bitcoin prices change. So today is the low or one of the lows. so if it goes even deeper down, maybe we can get even lower than that. But it's going to move with the price. So in November or December, they were retailing at $18,000. Every time that 2017 dump, everything went to what, $5,000-$6,000 a miner, $7,000 miner. So it does happen. And, as Bitcoin continues to go up in value, your miners also go up in value. Yeah, but there's a lot of little pieces to that to actually figure out the value of a miner. But, we're not those guys. So we'll let the market makers tell us how much those are worth.
That's a good way to put it.
I joked to my friend that bought the first miner from me. He bought it for $7,000, and then the next day we had the price increases, right? So theoretically,
he could have made an increase
close to $1,000.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what he wants, they didn't even start mining.
I mean, in terms of an asset, right?
Yes,
the underlying mining machine.
That's right.
Of course, he's never going to sell it.
Yeah. So basically, what I'm getting here is, you guys are really creating a passive income investment here. If you got, let's say you got, some retirement account and, you'd like to do something different with it or have some money sitting on the side. Let's say you got $50,000, that's going to buy you X amount of miners. It's just like buying a $50,000 car. Well, that car the next day, if you try to sell it, it's going to be worth $40,000 if you buy a brand new. Well, if you buy $50,000 worth of miners, they're still worth $50,000 the next day.
That's right.
Plus, they're returning you a passive income every single month. You can take it in US dollars, or you can, take the return in Bitcoin as well. And these are your options you have with NCG. So keep that in mind as well.
Well, another thing too, and Ali, we joked about this, like when in the history of mankind have you ever been able to legally print money, right, without getting arrested?
Nice. That is right. Yeah, and that is the pitch, right? Like, I'm like, people come up and they're like, oh, what do you do? I'm in the blockchain crypto area. And I say it real nice and subtly because I'm like, oh man, someone's going to be like, oh, you're crazy. What are you doing? And all that. And then they're like, oh, what do you do? I'm like, I mine Bitcoin. What do you mean you mine Bitcoin? I'm like, I have a currency printer in my basement. And they're like, what?
Yeah. You know how those politicians in Washington hit ones and zeros, the Federal Reserve?
Yeah.
And, devalue our currency and bankrupt
all the time. I mean, look
different
at
countries.
Since we're talking about this, okay, so hey, let's talk about inflation a little bit, right? Only halfway there. It's only halfway there because we still haven't seen the depth it's going to go down. You got 2022 first half, S&P down 25-26%. You got NASDAQ down 34-35%. You got Bitcoin down 64-65%. Then you have there's multiple compressions that are coming. Next earnings compression is going to come up. So we might only be halfway down. We still got a long way to go. And people don't understand that whole economic crisis that we're really going through. There's just so much that's still happening. And it's all caused by, and I'm not saying it in a bad way, and I'm not saying it in a good way. I just try to keep myself safe. But governments are at fault of doing this to us. These are the problems that are going through, and that what Bitcoin actually solves. When you can't print things just out of thin air, that's your answer. Now you actually have a commodity.
Yeah, you touched on something, and Matt, you'd guide us, but that's a good point to bring up. Of at the start of COVID, the stock market has come down 30-40%. Well, we still got another significant amount to go before we hit the floor of pre-COVID printed money, where they dump 40% of the money supply.
Happen. I guess the best way to look at that concept, that's more of a shorter time frame, within months or years. But if you look at things at a longer time frame, let's talk about the beginning of Bitcoin. Let's kind of get into that concept. Let's maybe talk about the 2008 crash that most of you know about, and just that's kind of about the time Bitcoin was created. But before we talk about that, let's talk about appreciation versus depreciation. So let's talk about the beginning of Bitcoin roughly in 2010. So let's say you walk into a grocery store with a $20 bill. Well, that $20 bill at that time in 2010 might have bought you half a cart full of groceries. Now, if you walked into the grocery store with one Bitcoin at that time in 2010, you wouldn't even be able to buy the sucker off the the candy rack. Now, if we flip flop to this day and age, and you walk in with a $20 bill into a grocery store, you're lucky to maybe buy one or two items off of any of their shelves. Whereas if you own one Bitcoin here in the 2020 range, you can literally probably buy half of the grocery store with one Bitcoin. So there you go. That's your appreciation versus depreciation. So here you have a currency such as the United States dollar, where they keep printing more and more, making the dollar, the buying power, going down. You're able to buy less and less with every single dollar you own, whereas Bitcoin has only gone up over time. So, that's your choice to decide from there. That being left off, let's kick it over to Rob. We're going to kick it over to Robert Fox, our VP Executive Sales, and we're going to discuss a 2008 Bitcoin recession, or sorry, I shouldn't say 2008 Bitcoin recession, a 2008 overall market recession. Rob, kick us off, please.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, on a day-to-day basis, I'm talking anywhere from 50 to 200 people about Bitcoin, right? And so I think it's really important because a lot of people, especially like the older generation, it's like if they can't touch it, feel it, they just don't trust it, right? Because that's what they've grown up with. It's current, the money and the currency is just baked into our psyche, right? And so you really have to kind of go back to the beginning to understand, like, how did Bitcoin start? What is the essence of it? What happened was, the 2008 meltdown. I was in Utah as a commercial real estate broker, and for the first 8 months, I moved from California to Utah. The first 8 months that I was back in Utah, I literally didn't make a single transaction because the market was just up in the air, right? With that whole stimulus thing that came out, and the market melted down. I just watched Wall Street with Shiloh LaBeouf, that boardroom scene where all the central bankers are in there, and one of the guys is like, if you guys don't pass this stimulus bill, he painted this like really dire scenario where the ATMs don't spit out money, and then pretty soon you have a societal collapse, right? And so the nut of it is Hank Paulson, the central bank, they bailed out these Wall Street power brokers, the banks, for making risky mortgage-backed securities, and the gambles that they took and the risk that they took on, they drove the financial system to near collapse, and then they got basically bailed out with a parachute, with helicopter money, right?
Okay, that's a great way to explain it.
how many business owners get that opportunity, right? You know, most business owners live in the real world. If you run, you know, more expenses and you bring in profit, you just go out of business, right? They're smacked in the face with reality. And so this group of savvy cypherpunks, you know, computer guys, computer nerds, if you want to call it that, and they were circulating information on, you know, similar to kind of a Reddit forum. And one of the guys said, he wrote a white paper that said, here's what the perfect digital currency would look like. They went, it's either they or he or a she, we don't know, because they went under a moniker. And so it could have been a group of people or an individual. I don't know if you guys have heard any insight to that, but I think it probably was a few people that went under a moniker myself.
Easily could be.
But so because, and this really makes sense, the narrative makes sense. So they were like, you know, screw Wall Street. We're sick of these filthy rich bankers that have parachutes when they make these ridiculous, you know, financial decisions that the rest of the world pays for. You know, screw that. Here's what a perfect digital currency would look like. And they wrote the Bitcoin white paper, right? So they launched it on this little online forum, and it ignited like wildfire. It went viral, and the whole community kind of put their input. Well, here, you know, what about this? And here's this aspect. And so it was this open sourced, you know, kind of, you know, the hive mind of all these smart people, cypherpunks, kind of perfecting the concepts of this. And they launched it months later. And then within a short amount of time, the first transaction took place where, you know, they bought a piece of pizza, I believe, from like New York, and then in Italy they bought a piece of pizza. They say it was the most expensive pizza ever purchased because in today's Bitcoin, it's worth over like $500 million or something like that.
So crazy to think.
Right? So it's like, you know, if it was the CIA that created the Bitcoin network, or if it was whatever, well, the joke is on them because they just created this decentralized open source protocol that's totally, you have total visibility. It's been, you know, the smartest minds have tried to hack it. No one has been able to penetrate the network in its entire existence. We're 20 years from the next technology that could penetrate the network, which is quantum computing, right? And then, you know, and that's really a non-issue because you're going to have the same amount of capital trying to hack the network. You're going to have the same amount of capital trying to protect the network, right? So that it's going to be simultaneously evolving, right? And so,
yeah, and you know, that's like you're saying there, Rob. You know, that's kind of the main reason of, you know, mining. You know, mining Bitcoin, mining cryptocurrencies, as basically by you know, creating proof of stake, proof of work. Those are two different concepts we can dig into deeper detail another time. That creates, you know, basically making Bitcoin / the blockchain stronger, because you know, when you're mining Bitcoin, you're solving, you know, basically computive, you know, algorithms that makes Bitcoin much safer over time. So that's kind of what he's saying there, is that as Bitcoin, you know, Bitcoin is around, the stronger and safer it will be as more and more miners step in for Bitcoin. So
and it gets more difficult. It gets more difficult to mine.
Or sorry, yeah, more difficult to mine, and obviously more difficult in essence to hack then, because Bitcoin is, you know, getting better. They're getting better, getting stronger. So.
And I think that's really key to what we're even talking about with the rest of crypto and the metaverse, because I find that if you don't understand Bitcoin, then, you know, why are you trying to understand all this other stuff? It's like, understand how awesome Bitcoin is.
Yes.
And how, you know, I think that Bitcoin crushing it is paramount, because then it's going to allow all this other opportunity to come in behind it. Maybe my thinking's
kind of like none of it would be possible without having Bitcoin there in the first place.
Yeah, it's the 2,000-pound gorilla in the room, right? It's got the network effect. It's you know, the entirety of the crypto market cap is, you know, 1.5 trillion, and Bitcoin is half of the entire market cap. You know, I think that's important. And I like what Michael Saylor said too. It's like, you know, Bitcoin, it's not the fastest technology, it's not the greatest, but it was built like a World War II tank, and all it does right now is it's a store of value, right? They've mastered how to transmit value receive value and protect value.
Peer-to-peer
Correct.
transactions.
Perfect. Perfectly put. Perfectly put. So yes. That's kind of the breakdown, of what happened with the, 2008, market recession. And, like Rob was saying, a person, a single entity, a company, a group of people decided to create this concept of a cryptocurrency called, some people don't even call Bitcoin a cryptocurrency. Bitcoin is in a class of its own. There's no Bitcoin and then there's cryptocurrencies, but we will consider Bitcoin a cryptocurrency just for the time being. And let's kind of look at that. Let's actually get into that. I'm going to share my screen here real quick. I got a tab open so we can kind of go into a little bit more detail about that.
As you're pulling that up too, I think it's really, it makes sense too why they didn't take ownership individually of it, right? Because it's about the protocol, it's about the decentralized nature of it. It's not about one person or some celebrity. It is infallible human.
Yeah.
The whole idea of it is that it's a trustless system. We don't have to depend on,
correct. And another concept, based on saying there's only a certain amount of Bitcoins created, okay? And there's only a certain amount unlocked over a course of time. And the last Bitcoin, when it was first created, isn't supposed to be unlocked for roughly, was it, guys, like 100 to 140 years, roughly?
104.
So roughly, over 100 years until the last Bitcoin can be, taken in by an individual or a group or a company. So what that is saying is whoever, created this Bitcoin concept was knowing that they were going to die before this was. So they weren't in it for, to make the money off of this or in it for this. They were in it to help out, the overall world economy. They were in it. That's what they were here for. Right? They knew they were probably going to die before the last Bitcoin was ever even mined. So keep that in mind. That's, so the person wasn't in it for themselves. So
I'll lean to the miners too, Ali and Maki. So the fact that the blockchain is transparent, right? You can see the wallet address of Satoshi Nakamoto and that those Bitcoin haven't moved, right? So they weren't about becoming rich.
No, they did. The whole purpose was because of that whole crash of 2008. I mean, once that, it destroyed lives. It made people go and commit suicide. You saw families, killing themselves, driving off freaking, lakes and stuff like that. It was just tragic altogether. Like, and who made out with that? It wasn't the market guys. It wasn't the, the brokers or anything like that. It was the people that invested. They let everybody crash and burn.
Correct. That's a great way to put it. Let's check out what this individual known as Satoshi Nakamoto has potentially kind of created for us and why we're here today. So let's take a peek at what I have to share, and we'll maybe just discuss that a little bit deeper here for you guys. 1 second here. All right, we should be sharing now. All right, here, so we can just kind of read here off of livemint.com, the birth of Bitcoin, on November 1st, 2008 is kind of when this personnel group, we're not sure, Satoshi, Nakamoto wrote in an email to a cryptography mailing list, I've been working on a new electronic cash system that's fully peer-to-peer with no trusted third party. Well, what that means is, it's a decentralized concept. So what a centralized concept is going to be government involvement. So your US dollars that you have in your bank, that is a centralized currency. So the government in essence owns that. No matter how many dollars you have in your bank, the government still owns that no matter what. Now, most cryptocurrencies are decentralized, meaning a no government involvement. They have no ties to it. They really have no way of getting involved in it. And that was the purpose of this concept that this person Satoshi Nakamoto wanted to create at the time. So basically, here is a link to that says the paper is available at this bitcoin.org/bitcoin.pdf. Let's take a peek at that. So here, if you're really interested in this, you can literally read word for word what this Satoshi Nakamoto had created and written. And this is what he wrote back in 2008, be based upon the 2008 recession, from an introduction to transactions, how it works from peer to peer to the, the owner's public key to where, where it's going, how it's working, hash rate. There's so much involved, and that's kind of what Rob was just talking about too, just a little bit ago, where, some people don't understand this concept, and you need to, need to do your own research and, have a better understanding of this. Think about this as back in grade school, when you were in that class that you just didn't really understand. Well, that was your chance to either step in and learn that class, or you fail the class. Well, this is the same way. You either step in and decide to learn this topic and concept, or you just won't ever understand it. You'll be the one that's saying, I don't get crypto. I don't understand it. I don't get it. Well, it's your, this is your chance to step in, read about it, learn about it. There's all kinds of free material online, and we're here to help too. If you have any questions, throw it our way. But anyways, here's a timestamp server.
That's a good point, Matt. That's a great point. Michael Saylor says that, if you haven't spent at least 100 hours, like, you're not going to understand. You're not going to truly understand Bitcoin. And I think that's really where we're at. And that's the opportunity, is that people haven't done the deep dive, and they just look at Bitcoin and some of these other crypto like a risky tech stock. And that's where the market is, right? They don't have a deep, profound understanding of it. And so on the at the end of the liquidity band, it's the most liquid asset. And so when the market tanks, people sell their Bitcoin, they sell their crypto. Well, that eventually there's going to be a decoupling of the stock market with Bitcoin and some of these crypto.
100%,
right?
100%.
And so that's the opportunity for the little guy, is to, spend 500 hours, learn it, take a position, dollar cost average into it, buy a miner, right? And print those juicy sats and stack your generational wealth. And meanwhile, the institutions, once they figure out that, oh my gosh, this is where the rest of the world is going, you're going to be there ready to take these windfall profits.
Yeah. Hey, perfectly put, Rob. And based upon that concept that you're saying now, basically what I'm getting at is, there are some people scared of cryptocurrency. They've heard of people, in essence, horror stories of losing a large sum of money. This is an investment, but there's also been people that have made life-changing wealth. So what I'm getting at is, Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies are extremely volatile. There's 20%, 30% up and downs in a single day. I've seen it plenty and time again. So if you are wanting to get, started in crypto, and you are scared of that volatility in the markets, here's your chance to talk to us and the NCG team to get involved in Bitcoin mining. We can get you started today, Bitcoin mining, get your miner set up. You don't even have to have it at your house. They, through New Century Gold, they can host a miner within their own warehouse where you are, taking in Bitcoin every single month that they send to you. So keep that in mind. This is what New Century Gold is all about. We're trying to bring Bitcoin crypto adoption news to you, so you understand it, and what we're trying to do to help the crypto community. So
yeah, it's like, like you go buy a McDonald's franchise or a 7-Eleven, or all these fraught with heartache and tons of effort and losing sleep, or buy a freaking miner with NCG
and let it work for you while you
let
sleep,
that
right?
let that thing work.
okay, talking about that, then let's kind of get into one. I gotta share my screen for one more concept then with NCG that you guys were sharing with me just a little bit ago. So we can maybe look at some numbers. Should we look at some numbers with what these miners are potentially putting out? Let's kind of get that concept out and about here for everyone to check out here. I guess it's not.
You did have it on.
I know I had it up, and I don't know where I put it. So give me 1 second here to refine where I got this hidden at. So let me go back here.
While Matt's looking for that, I had and this is kind of the unique thing about this new world of technology. I was listening to a podcast on Blockworks, and they had on a business owner who basically was, instead of opening up a new location, he was hodling Bitcoin. And he's banking on over the next 3 years that, his Bitcoin is going to be at a higher level with not that much effort, instead of trying to, train new people, build a building, invest all this capital in where the market's going, supply chain shortages, small business being decimated, this kind of, the world order, the post Bretton Woods world is shifting, wars, a lot of uncertainty. I think he's on point. I emailed him on LinkedIn, and the next day we're having a Zoom call, and he's telling me about this cool strategy. And this is, what he taught me about what he was doing was another reason why when I saw NCG and talked to them, it just light bulb.
Nice.
This is probably once in a lifetime opportunity with NCG. I do not know of many other companies that are even doing this form of thing. I have seen other mining companies, but they're usually not putting out as high tier product as NCG is, such as some of the higher tier ant miners that are currently being out. That's what NCG does have to offer you. So based upon that, let's definitely take a look at, like I was just stating a little bit ago, let's look at some of those numbers that NCG has to kind of offer you. All right, here we go. Now we got it going. So here we have New Century Gold, earn passive income. Why buy Bitcoin if you can create your own? That's the perfect way to put it. Through any of us, schedule a fit. You don't have to take 15 minutes. If you just want to sit and visit about Bitcoin and what it can do or to change your life, reach out to us. This is your once in a lifetime chance. Before the Bitcoin price potentially goes to prices you would never even think of. So
to the moon.
Let's discuss
The sale.
So, here we have, different price ranges.
Get your Bitcoin.
Get your Bitcoin now while it's on sale. So, currently the miner cost is roughly $7,999. That's kind of the higher tier. That's the purchase one. There is discounted prices for buying larger bundles, but this, that price fluctuates with the price of Bitcoin. If Bitcoin goes down, the miner cost is going to go down. If it goes up, it's going to go up. So, if you buy one and Bitcoin price starts going up, well, at some point, your miner is going to be worth more. Plus, you're going to probably be receiving more Bitcoin at that time too. But at the, based upon that concept, with Bitcoin at certain prices such as 20,000, 30,000, as the price keeps going up, as you can see, your rate of return has a higher probability, of receiving more and more Bitcoin as the price goes up. So, rather than sticking your money into different investments, mutual funds, annuities, here's a different form of investment in essence, a safer form of investment in cryptocurrency, in the cryptocurrency realm, as most people think of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies as very volatile. Well, here's a chance to earn, say, passive income. You always be receiving some form of passive income through mining, if you want to put it that way. And then here's some of their miner packages. Go ahead, Rob.
To that point on the price aspect, I think it's important for people to kind of understand the projections of what the price of Bitcoin could look like. The most interesting case for a really insane number is you look at the total market cap of gold, and if you buy into the theory that Bitcoin is really gold 2.0, it has all the properties that make gold a treasury reserve asset, except for Bitcoin is technology and then could even be programmed and zapped all over the world in nanoseconds through the Lightning Network. And so if you buy into that theory that the Bitcoin could supplant gold as the world's store of value, and gold's market cap is 10 trillion. So on an adjusted basis, that would make the price of Bitcoin $500,000 per Bitcoin if it didn't eclipse the market cap of gold.
Yeah, in my opinion, at some point, I feel Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies will be at that level. No ifs, ands, or buts, because of the concept of there's only certain amount of Bitcoin. There's only 21 million Bitcoins that will be created. Roughly, what is there, like maybe 19.5 million out roughly right now that can be taken in by people. So there's not much left, and people are, when this price drops big time and you're scared to buy in, guess who is buying? The larger, what we call whales, the larger holders of Bitcoin are buying more Bitcoin. So if that says anything to you, they know when the price is down, they're buying more. So, but based upon that, this estimated rate of return, obviously there's no guarantees. There's no, obviously, these are just showing you rough estimates of what you could be getting, and obviously, if you're, if Bitcoin goes to, $80,000 and you take in, almost 100% of your money in 1 year. Well, I've never really seen too many passive income investments that do that. Not very often. So here's your chance to, maybe step in and see what NCG has to offer you. So here's some of their miner packages. You can buy 1/10 of a miner, as they discussed earlier, to half a miner, to one miner. And then when you get, these larger bundle packs of 10 plus miners, 100 plus miners, you get a little bit of a discount with some of these prices, and where, some of these potential estimated annual, returns can be from that. So also, there's, this is all included with the setup cost and management fees, and you get 1 year manufacturing warranty with the material. So that's kind of a plus with NCG, as they take care of your miner and have it within their warehouse, mining crypto off the web for you. So this is definitely right here is some of their reach out, emails and numbers, you can get a hold of us. So if this is something you're interested in, don't be afraid to email any of us. Call us. We're here to visit with you. Any questions you have, whether it's about crypto mining or just crypto in general, reach out to us and we're here to help. So I will.
And we also have a newsletter that's coming out every Friday. So
perfect.
They put on the go and subscribe to our website. Put in your information in the form, and automatically you'll start getting that information to you.
Perfect. That's perfectly put. The more information you read about crypto, the more you're just going to understand over time. So, like I said, it's your time. It's your chance to put in the work that you want to put in to learn about this concept. If you're getting new in this, whether you're new, advanced, or, like we call it professional, that's been around for quite some time. So, don't be afraid to reach out. We're always here for answers. Any other questions, concerns? What else are we discussing this afternoon, gentlemen?
So
what was the big news? I was still waiting for your big news.
Yeah, that's coming. Don't worry, we're coming for that.
One thought is and not to be like a carnival barker or used car salesman, but dude, now is the time where the price is, Bitcoin is down 65% from its all-time high. You look at the history of Bitcoin. Every year, it's made a higher low, right? And so we're at a spot to where the mining machines are inexpensive, and we're going to probably be hitting a floor here pretty soon of where there's massive support at that 12K level. If it wicks down, I mean there's like massive support at that level. So we're at a spot to where I think it's a good time to.
Yeah, I feel if it does have another wick down, or what he's referring to, a wick down is a large, quick drop in price. So a drastic drop in Bitcoin price quickly is kind of what a large wick down is. But usually when that happens at these type of support levels, what he's talking about is a lower end level. Usually it will bounce back up relatively quickly. So if it drops down
what do you think about that?
It'll come back up.
Matt, what is your technical analysis showing you about a bottom in Bitcoin?
Sorry, say that again. It was breaking up on my screen. Sorry.
What is your technical analysis? What do you see as the floor for Bitcoin?
Oh, that is a wonderful question. Let's share some screen here. Let's look at a technical analysis indicator called a.
I don't mean to drive you down that direction, but if you'd like that'd be interesting to.
Nope. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, let's take a look at what we got going on with that. I work with technical analysis pretty much on the daily. So let's take a peek at this. Well, we got that question involved here. So we will get rid of this guy, and we will open this guy, and we will. So let's take a look at Bitcoin. So here we have what I am looking at here is Bitcoin on a daily scale. So obviously every single wick, every single little candle that you're seeing is based upon a daily time frame. Okay. And what I am specifically looking at is a thing called, what they call it on here is a super Ichi, or basically what I call it is a super trend. What this indicator does is it kind of shows where the majority of the money is going. As you can see currently, basically since November timeframe, Bitcoin has been in a large downtrend, and that's why you see all of this red right here. That is what the super trend is projecting. Right now, we are back in with the super trend, and that's obviously right there at the very bottom. You can see it's holding us up right now at the time. That's one of the super trends, Super Ichi. It's free to use on TradingView. That down here, another trend I follow. Usually when it drops below 25, that is a good time to buy. This is obviously not financial advice, but with the daily stochastic RSI, below 25, that's usually when I am unloading, more US dollars or USDT back into Bitcoin and different cryptocurrencies. I know it's a scary time. Bitcoin seemed to be dropping a little bit, but that's usually the best time to buy when you're, buy when there's blood in the streets, as a lot of people say. So that's kind of where I'm at. But based upon what Rob was saying, the floor, that's hard to that's a hard question to to bring in, to discuss. Where do we feel the floor is at with Bitcoin? Based upon this super trend over here, there is a large holding right here in this area right here. I would say the $15,000 range, like we had kind of bounced from, is a large floor. It may dip lower, like he said, to the 12 to 10K range. But I feel from there, if it does happen, there will be a large wick back to the uptrend, back up to that, $18,000 to $20,000 range again. I feel like that's what will happen if that were to happen. Again, this is not financial advice. Yeah. So,
and as the lessons of the day keep on coming, as the large wicks keep on coming down, those large wicks upwards will also come down, could go up too. So I mean, you got people out there saying if it might even hit 3 to 7K, but 3 to 7K means that it's going to $1 million. It's going to go down that much. People are just going to load up, and you already see BlackRock going at it, Fidelity going at it. They're continuously, just consuming as much of Bitcoin as they can.
You're talking about the rubber band effect. Is that what you're talking
rubber
about?
band effect?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. What goes up must come down. What's the other concept with that? You pull the bow and arrow back first, and then what happens? Boom. Right. So just give it time. Be patient. There has been people that have made life-changing wealth overnight in crypto. There is that chance. It does happen. But it's not timing of the markets, it's time in the markets. If you put more time in the markets, you will make it. You will make it. There's a thing called DCA, dollar cost average. That's basically what I do. I have a certain amount of money that I stick in every single month into Bitcoin or different cryptocurrencies that I just keep dollar cost averaging, stick some in. Sometimes I'm buying a little bit cheaper, sometimes a little bit more expensive, but over time it gives you that average price of what you're buying in. And over time, Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies have gone up. So, keep that in consideration in your mind too. So
you brought something up, Matt, that I think is key. As I'm talking to a lot of these people, I mean, just every day, just people have to be, after a while, you start seeing the same objections, the same concerns that people have, commonalities that people have. And invariably it's too risky. It's too volatile. Don't confuse short-term volatility with long-term use case.
Perfect. Perfect. Yeah. Perfectly put.
The Bitcoin market cap is under $1 trillion. So these big market makers with tons of liquidity can play these games and yank price up and down and play with that. But over the long term, the use case is going to play out and it's going to win.
Oh, correct. And and as crypto keeps evolving and keeps growing, there's more and more jobs, being open, being related. Yeah, there'll be some places that don't make it. Just look at cryptos as a business. Some are going to make it and some aren't. So it's getting your research, your involvement, your what you want to learn and know to make the right, correct investment decision. But based upon that, let's get into a little bit of crypto news that I just had recently found just today, and it kind of caught my eye, and I hope it will catch yours too. So let's share my screen one more time, and let's get involved with. Let's look at this. Ooh, our boy Amazon, one of the largest companies in the United States, is looking for a blockchain architect. So what they're doing with this, so the responsibilities of this person will be including showcasing works for AWS blockchain templates, Hyperledger Fabric with Ethereum. So what does that mean? They are getting involved in crypto. They are looking for a certain person to run their cryptocurrency show here. That's what Amazon is stepping into. This was posted 1 day ago. This is your chance now, before all these larger companies potentially get involved and the prices skyrocket through the roof. This is not obviously financial advice, but if someone like Amazon's getting involved, that's your decision to make upon that. But as one steps in, like Tesla did last year, BlackRock's getting in, all these other, JP Morgan used to, bash Bitcoin and crypto all the time, but now they're getting involved in it. And now guess what?
Fidelity and BlackRock, just these two alone, getting involved. If they allocate 1% of their assets to Bitcoin, $100 billion market cap right away.
Amazing.
Take it to 250,000 at least if they just put in a percent.
Even a 0.5%, it equates to a $100 billion market cap right away for Bitcoin, and they're already in it. They own. Fidelity has 11.8 trillion in assets. BlackRock has 9.6 trillion in assets. All it takes is a 0.5% of their asset, and now Bitcoin's already at 100 billion.
Google, I think, put in the most amount of money they invested into a blockchain.
Yep, I did see that too, but I was just pointing out that Amazon's stepping in now, so that kind of points a finger where things are potentially going. And another thing I wanted to point out is the other day there was a very large increase in Bitcoin within 1 hour time frame when people were looking at the blockchain. They noticed that a single entity, it's not obviously no one knows who it was, but there was a single blockchain entity, whether it was a single person or a single company or single group, that bought $3 billion worth of Bitcoin in less than 1 hour. So that kind of says something. If someone's willing to, dip in $3 billion, there's something going on. So keep that in your mind as well too. I don't have an article to back that, but we will definitely get one posted in some of the links.
I've already seen it. I'll bring it to you too.
Perfect. Yes, that's what I wanted. Yes, we can kind of bring some different conceptual news for the audience. So perfect.
Did you guys hear Paul Tudor Jones, one of the most successful hedge fund investors? He was interviewed and he said he was talking to a guy in MSNBC Financial, and he was saying that a lot, like the most, because his sons and daughters are in school, all their friends are all into blockchain. So he says like the brain trust of like the younger generation that's why he's really bullish on cryptocurrency. A lot of the smartest minds are just dialed in on crypto.
Yeah.
Kevin O'Leary was saying the same thing. He was like, he went to MIT for a conference, and these people just couldn't stop talking about crypto and how they want to be involved in blockchain and crypto. So tells you where things are headed. All these smart guys and girls are going to be working on crypto projects in the future. So can only imagine potential of that.
Hey, it's perfectly put. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say that there was what's his name? Ed Nightingale, or what's the motivational speaker? You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Gary?
Earl Nightingale. I heard this when I was like in high school, on a road trip with my dad, listening to one of his motivational tapes. But he said that the general economy is it's like a slow moving barge. And that's like our current financial system is this like legacy, just rotting carcass, this barnacles on the bottom of this like nasty ship, and it can't just like turn on a dime, right? And so that's the opportunity. Time. Was I descriptive enough?
No, that's perfect. Yeah, what you're saying is to get involved in something, and it takes time. And what you're basically saying there, as things slowly start to go off, is basically what they say in crypto. As some of the dominoes have started falling. At the beginning of the domino effect, there's it slowly tick-tocks, and then there's the drastic ending. So
us as individuals, we can move faster than the institutions who can't just like uproot overnight.
Right.
Because you own, we all own cryptocurrency. Everyone who wants to own cryptocurrency can own it. It's not just the stock market and only certain people can get in at certain times. It's 24/7. Anyone can own it whenever they want. That's the beauty of it. So, definitely keep that in your mind, and someday it might end up changing your life. So
Canada is regulating how much you can own. I heard this just this morning, but I'm not sure if it's verified yet. But Canada wants to come out and say you can only own a certain portion. Like, here, we're going to protect you to make sure that you don't lose all your money. So you can have this much, and that's your limit. So I mean,
I would just show them that one of my 10,000 accounts that I do own in cryptocurrency realm.
Now, who is this again, Ali? This is the sovereign nation of Canada.
It was It was
Canada.
I'll get you the news article.
Please share that. Please share that with the podcast.
Well, it's interesting too that you mentioned that, Ali, because with Bitcoin advisors, they have a 250K minimum platinum account, and it's for accredited investors, and it's a really cool program, but the average investor can't get access to it. If you don't have, that whittles it down to a lot, because you can short, you can lock, you could all the degen crypto stuff you can do, and so they make it that way on purpose, in the name of keeping you safe. And it's not really.
That's a good way to put it. No. I feel like that's a good overall breakdown of cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, and NCG for an overall concept. Anything else you guys would like to share while we're here? Any questions, concerns? Please speak up now. Let's talk about it.
Well, we're gonna come back next week too, and we have a bunch of new topics. And I hope, Matt, you can lead the way on telling us what are the new news that we should be
Yeah, hey, that's
letting all
perfectly
these
put. That
people know.
we're gonna start bringing different podcast topics every single day or week. Just different quick videos, short videos. Not always just long podcasts of just different crypto discussions, different newses, different prices. Different technical and fundamental analysis concepts. So that's kind of what NCG wants to bring to their audience, and that's what we're here to do. So like I said, you have most of the contact information. So please reach out. When needed. So. Next live podcast like this. When is this again, Ali? When are we doing this
Next
one?
Wednesday.
This type of.
So today was
Say that
Thursday,
again.
but it'll be here next Wednesday, and hopefully we'll just do it every Wednesday.
Okay,
And,
sounds good. So guys, keep that in your books. About every Wednesday, we're gonna do this type of thing. It'll take some time to potentially get the video out. How long do you think, Ali? When what day should our audience be looking for this podcast to be out and about for them to watch?
Good point. Since this is the first one, we'll wait and find out how long this one takes.
Okay, hey, that's right. We'll hit that topic. We'll hit that topic with the next one. So we gotta give them a consistent
We could
date.
include it in one of the newsletters, like, hey, check out our latest podcast, so we can get that out
with
there.
some links. Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect. Okay, yeah, just so we kind of have that down, so better for the next time, so it's a little more. So we know kind of, because obviously because are you guys gonna edit this first one? You guys gonna try editing it? And,
Yeah.
Putting it out type of thing. Okay, perfect. So.
All right, good.
I felt that went very well. This was NCG New Century Gold. This is myself, Matt Sen. I'm here with Rob Fox, Ali Hassan, and Wakar Kari. Correct? Is that
Khan.
Khan? Sorry, it looked like an I on my screen. Sorry, Khan. So this is part of our team. We do have other members of the team, and hopefully they'll be on with us, on a future podcast, and we can get more questions answered. And like I said, email us, questions, whatever you guys have concerns. Let's visit about this. So hey, we appreciate your guys' time, and have a good rest of your week. Thank you. Now.